Heyo, and what is up, gang? Thank you so much for checking out SledgeHammer TV tonight. It is Monday night, February the 5th, 2018, and we are here with your official Monday Night Raw review on the newest, fastest rising podcast in all of YouTube, baby! The SledgeHammer Wrestling Show. Let's do it.
SledgeHammer Wrestling Show.
Alright, wrestling fans, thank you so much for joining me tonight. My name is Nick Nightmare. Along with me, as always, is my loyal companion, my trusty tag team partner, and the World Heavyweight Champion of Microphones, Blue the Snowball Microphone, and we are here to talk about tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw from Des Moines, Iowa, Seth Rollins' home state. He's not from Des Moines, he's from Davenport, but I don't give a shit about the logistics and how far or whatever. Des Moines, Iowa, I just like saying that, was the site of tonight's Monday Night Raw. And let's cut the nonsense right out. This show made absolutely zero sense. Did we have some good matches tonight? Absolutely we did. Did any of them matter outside of the Elimination Chamber qualifying matches? No, not really at all. Not really at all. The women's division is a very sore spot for me right now. The potential that they have to do great things with the roster at their fingertips, and the way they put things together tonight, the way the Elimination Chamber shaped up for the women, the exclusion of Nia Jax from a match that she clearly should be part in, makes no sense to me. We got 3 women's matchups tonight, which is fantastic. I didn't mind it, except that last one, a little bit unnecessary. Mickie James versus Sonya Deville? Really? For what? What the hell was the point of that match? Just to give Sonya Deville a tune-up? I would have much rather them scrap that match completely and give that extra allotted wasted time to the triple threat main event match that actually turned out being pretty damn good. This is the first time in a long time Monday Night Raw has ended where I have felt like, wow, I really enjoyed that ending. They gave a win to the most unlikely competitor tonight. They shone a spotlight bright down upon Elias, proving that the WWE truly stands for Walk with Elias. They put him in a triple threat main event against 2 of the biggest stars the WWE has to offer, figuratively and literally. You have the guy that's been carrying the banner for 15 years, plus John Cena, the Man Machine, and the monster among men, the current day's dominant monster, versus this up-and-coming, new fresh face who nobody thought stood a chance in this match. Everybody, I'm guaranteeing you, thought, as just like everybody in that arena thought, that Braun Strowman was winning that match. But does it truly matter what number Braun Strowman enters the Elimination Chamber? As great as that match was, and as fantastic as it was that Elias won this match and earned the right to walk into the Elimination Chamber last, does it matter? Because everybody knows who's winning the Elimination Chamber, so it doesn't matter whether or not Braun Strowman's first or last. The only thing that matters is when Reigns gets in there, Because once he's in there, it's over for everybody else. There is no doubt in my mind that the WWE is set in their ways and they are not going to shift gears on us. They're not going to take this moment to shock us and do something right by us. They are going to stay the course. They have run this pace for 4 years. Why would they stray now? Roman Reigns is going to win the Elimination Chamber. Which also makes the announcement of next week's final spot being decided by 4 losers getting a second chance at entry into the Elimination Chamber. Does it matter if Finn Balor wins? Does it matter if Bray Wyatt wins? Does it matter if Matt Hardy wins? You know Apollo Crews isn't going to win. Does it matter who wins? Because no matter who fills that spot, they're only going to lose to Roman at the end of the night. So, all in all, what little good there was tonight, at the end of the day, is moot. So what good is it really? Did I enjoy that end segment? Absolutely. Do I know what it means in the long run? Yes. So is there any reason to really be that excited about the fact that Elias won tonight? Fucking no. No. Elias is not winning the Elimination Chamber, so it doesn't matter that he's going to be the last one in there. The best thing that could happen is that he has his guitar with him in the pod, and he plays his guitar the entire way through until he gets in that match. That would be the most interesting and unique way you could use Elias to get him over, because he's not going to win this match. Let's be honest. As much as I want to walk with Elias and I love the guy, he's not main eventing WrestleMania versus Brock Lesnar. We know this. Okay? It's pretty much coming down to Cena and Reigns. That's going to be your end. Cena is desperate to make his way to WrestleMania as if he needs some sort of a path. Like, he could just walk up to Vince and be like, listen, it's me, bro. The world can't see me at WrestleMania, but they need to see me, so let's do something. He'd be on the card in 2 seconds. I don't need this forced drama, this fake drama that he needs to be part of WrestleMania like he can't get on the card. So he's not going to win the Elimination Chamber either. Braun Strowman is going to probably do some great stuff in that Elimination Chamber, but he's not going to win. It's all for Roman. So the performance we seen tonight in that triple threat, no matter how good it was, it kind of takes away from a couple of other things. Do you realize that John Cena versus Braun Strowman is a main event match? That match, in and of itself, could be John Cena's way into WrestleMania. Why not have John Cena versus Braun Strowman? Forget the Undertaker thing. Forget it. I don't even see it happen. It should have already begun. Unless it happens at the Chamber. But then you're not given much time to tell any story. Not that the WWE's any good at that anyway. Right? Does it really matter? I just don't understand the logic behind it. I don't understand the logic behind anything that they're doing to create all this drama and all this intrigue and all this build that they're finally actually building something to an event, to a match that's as predictable as apple pie. You know exactly what it tastes like. You know exactly what it looks like. It's not going to change. It's apple pie. And that's the problem with the WWE. That's the problem with the creative. There's just too many cooks in the kitchen. And when you have too many cooks in your kitchen, the food comes out like shit. And Monday Night Raw has been coming out like shit. Sure, we have a decent match here and there to watch. We had some good action tonight, but the stories behind everything were just ridiculous. Why are we having Asuka versus Bayley? Although I did enjoy how it furthered along the storyline with Sasha Banks, and we are getting the seeds planted for this Sasha Banks heel turn. There was a lot of, snootiness, a little bit of animosity between Bayley and Sasha backstage tonight. Bayley pretty much getting in Sasha's face and being like, hey, listen, I could beat you. I know I could beat you. You couldn't beat Asuka. But that doesn't mean I can't beat Asuka. And I'm going to go out there tonight and I'm going to beat Asuka. But this, I have the same logic as I had last week when we saw Sasha Banks versus Asuka. I understand now it's part of a storyline and they're trying to build it. Fine. But Asuka versus Bayley, no matter how you might feel about Bayley, is a big deal match. And they proved that tonight because those two girls went out there and Bayley had her best match on the Raw roster since she's been called up. We said the same exact thing with Sasha Banks. And what is the common denominator? Asuka. She brought two of the best female performers to two of their very best matches ever since being on Monday Night Raw. And we got them both for free. Back to back, week to week. Why isn't that match should have happened at the Elimination Chamber? Build up, Asuka versus Bayley, Sasha in the background, all pissed off about Bayley getting the opportunity, the fact that she keeps losing, she's on the back burner again, Bayley's getting the push, Bayley's getting the highlight. She could have had this great match with Asuka, lose to Asuka at the Elimination Chamber, and then you have Sasha Banks win the chamber and keep Bayley out of the match. Put Nia in that match, because that's where she belongs, in the Elimination Chamber, instead of this ridiculous match with Asuka that does nothing. Explain to me the logic here, guys. Somebody hit me up in the comments and tell me if you understand what they're doing. Asuka has yet to decide which championship she's going to challenge for at WrestleMania. Correct? Now, let's just say, for example, like everybody's predicting and everybody's hoping, she chooses Charlotte for the SmackDown Live Championship. How is Nia Jax going to figure into that? Now, I don't believe for a minute Nia Jax is going to beat Asuka at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. But when Kurt Angle added this little stipulation that if Nia wins, she will be inserted into the main event title match at WrestleMania, how does that work? When we don't even know what title match Asuka's going to have. Is she going to follow Asuka to whatever match she's going to have? Is she going to stay and be involved in the Raw Women's title match? It doesn't make sense. And then by doing that, you take all the luster away again from Asuka's Royal Rumble win. Just imagine for a second they decided to say, screw it, we're going to kill Asuka's momentum right now. We're going to shut down this undefeated streak right now, give it to Nia Jax, put her over. What does it do? What does it do? All it does is kill Asuka. It doesn't make sense. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It negates the Royal Rumble win 110%. Because if you could just win your way into WrestleMania's main event, why bother even caring about winning in the Royal Rumble? You could just challenge the Royal Rumble winner at any time and take their spot. Or mooch in on their spot. Why? Why even make that a thing? Why even make that a possibility? It's disrespectful again. You already disrespected Asuka's Royal Rumble win by having Ronda Rousey shit all over it. Now you're going to have Asuka defending her right to have this match. It's nonsensical. It's nonsensical. It would have been better off to have a grudge match against Asuka. Then WWE Creative wants to give Nia this promo, and everybody's on Twitter going, oh, Nia brought the fire. Nia saying this, Nia saying that. Nia was scripted, everybody. Nia didn't shoot from the hip, and you could tell just simply by the fact that Nia Jax had the balls to say to Asuka, you can't beat me. And that's false. Because obviously the WWE Creative, I mean, it's obvious with how they've been booking all their talent from NXT, but you can tell by that one statement that they don't watch, follow, or consider NXT to have ever happened, ever. Because how could you make such a blind, stupid statement like that? I'm the one woman you can't beat. She beat you already! In a pretty shitty match, too. Because Nia Jax was still green as grass. Asuka did the best she could, but they had a pretty slow, pretty clumpy encounter on NXT where Asuka easily defeated Nia Jax. You want her to come out and blatantly lie. Because yous don't know your history. I'm not scared of you, she says. I'm the one woman you can't beat. Wrong. Absolutely scripted. Very well delivered. Wasn't about her delivery. Her delivery was solid. But facts, man. Let's spit facts. If you're going to spit something at me, spit facts. This whole match shouldn't even be happening. So it doesn't matter how good the promo was. You know who had a great promo was Alexa Bliss. Talking a lot about the women right now because they seem to have the only thing of relevance to talk about outside of the Elimination Chamber. Right? Alexa Bliss comes out tonight, pissed off at Kurt Angle, and gave one of the best promos I've ever heard her give in her life. It seemed to be blurring that line of reality, kind of skirting around topics that everybody's already kind of whispering about. You know, Alexa went right out and blatantly blamed Kurt Angle for the reason why she doesn't look like a dominant champion, and that's the absolute truth. She's pissed off that she's not being regarded in the same light as Brock Lesnar, and why do I have to defend my title in the Elimination Chamber and he doesn't? Isn't this supposed to be about equal? What the women get, the men get, the rules are supposed to be the same. She has an absolutely valid point. But you don't view her on the same level as a beast Brock Lesnar. She's the women's champion. And Kurt's like, well, you haven't defended your title since October. And she was right on the money, and she said, well, whose fault is that, Kurt? You make the matches, bro. And she's right. What have we been getting on Monday Night Raw? 6-woman tag team match after 6-woman tag team match, all because Absolution had to make their friggin' presence felt, and then Paige goes and gets hurt, and the whole thing is for nothing anyway. So you sacrifice the women's championship week after week after week, and do literally nothing with it, and you want to put the blame on Alexa. Everybody wants to get down on Alexa. You want to say that she's a shit champion. What have they given her to do? Tonight was a clear indication that she's not a shit champion. And she proved her point tonight with everything she said. Facts. Facts. Dummy, yeah. Fact of life. She spit fire tonight. You want to talk about spitting fire? Alexa Bliss spit fire tonight. Although it did end rather awkwardly, and it didn't seem to come to any sort of a conclusion of any kind, which is the one bad thing we could take away from it. But Alexa Bliss, on fire. Bayley versus Asuka was a good match, like I said. Miz and Apollo Crews. Miz and Apollo Crews was for entry into the Elimination Chamber match again. This was a great match. The Miz took Apollo Crews and gave him another great match. Apollo Crews has been consistently putting on great matches on these shitty episodes of Monday Night Raw. They are getting lost in the cloud of Titus Worldwide. You're not seeing outside of the big picture because he's crowded with garbage around him. And if you took Apollo Crews out of that, give him a little bit of attitude and let him have matches like he had with The Miz tonight, Apollo Crews is a megastar. Megastar. Hindered by Titus Worldwide, but this was a fantastic match. He deserves much better. The Miz, in the end, no matter how much Apollo Crews threw at him, found a way to win, however. He crotched Apollo Crews on the top rope and then caught him with the skull-crushing finale for the win. The Miz will move on to the Elimination Chamber. Now, again, as good as that match was, the Intercontinental Championship, being involved in this Elimination Chamber match, is one of these things that the WWE does that I just cannot stand. The Intercontinental Championship on The Miz continues to be wasted. If you were going to put him in that match, then why not put the belt on somebody else? Excuse me. Effectively, what should be happening is The Miz should be defending his title against Finn Balor at the Elimination Chamber for the Intercontinental Championship. You have the Balor Club and the Miztourage on the outside. You give the title to Finn, get it off the Miz, let him go have his baby. Because I really don't think he's going to be around for WrestleMania. Maurice is due 2 days before then. So no matter what he says, I do not expect the Miz to be around for WrestleMania. So drop the belt to Balor as soon as possible. It's not going to happen, but this is what I would have done. And then you have Finn Balor build a program to defend the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania versus Samoa Joe. Imagine Joe and Balor on the same card as AJ and Shinsuke. What? What? That is magic. That is magic. What they're doing here, putting the Intercontinental Championship in the Elimination Chamber, having The Miz try to put himself over and tell everybody that he's going to be the first ever Universal and Intercontinental Champion. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. You think for 1 minute the world wants to see the Brock Lesnar versus The Miz match? I called him the Brock. You want them to see the Brock versus The Miz? No. You don't want to see that. You don't even want to see the Brock versus the Roman. We'd much rather see the Brock versus the Braun, if you ask me. But that's not happening either, you guys. Rockstar Spud made his Monday Night Raw debut. They want to call him Drake Maverick. We can call him Drake Star Spudrick. I don't care what we call him. I thought he was great on commentary. I liked his voice. He's got this Nigel McGuinness kind of quality to him, not just because they're both British, but because of the way he delivers his words, and I thought he was great there. What I didn't think was great was the friggin' tag team cruiserweight match again. The same 4 guys in another tag team match that means absolutely nothing. When on 205 Live you're trying to promote the show, you want to get people to watch, you want people to get invested, you have a certain amount of time on Monday Night Raw. Why not have a Cruiserweight Championship match on Monday Night Raw? Have one on SmackDown. Have one on 205 Live. Make it one match at a time, leading all the way up into the finals that will happen at WrestleMania. Why not highlight it that way? You think the people in the crowd would be more invested in a match that has some sort of something at stake? If they win this match, they're going to move on in the tournament. Maybe if they watch that match, they'll be more inclined to tune in to 205 Live tomorrow night and see how the rest of the tournament plays out. But when you want to put them on Monday Night Raw, you want to put them in a stupid tag team match that means nothing and have Rockstar Spud on commentary overshadowing everything that's going on in the ring. Cedric Alexander, however, delivered an absolutely beautiful lumbar check. One of the most beautiful that I've ever seen him hit. Drew Gulak took it like a champion. He bounced up off him like a spring. It was absolutely a thing of beauty, a beautiful way to finish off this absolutely useless match. And it's things like this that are being overlooked. The crowd, by the time they get to the end of the match, they don't care. No matter how beautiful the finish may be, they just don't care. And how many times are we going to see Nese and Gulak as a team going up against Cedric and Mustafa? The same pairings all the time. You have about 15 cruiserweights. We keep seeing the same 4 to 6. I don't get it. Why not have the Cruiserweight Championship match? One of them, one of those tournament matches should have taken place on Raw tonight. Give them 10 minutes. Let them have a knockdown, drag-out Cruiserweight match. Let it alone. Let them do what they got to do. Let them showcase why they should be watching 205 Live. Right in the middle of Monday Night Raw. Not at the end of the show. Could have even done it right at the beginning. We're going to kick off the show tonight with a first round matchup from the Cruiserweight Championship Tournament. Introducing tonight's special guest commentator, new 205 General Manager, Drake Star Maverick Bud. Whatever I called him before. Drake Star Spudrick. Drake Maverick. Why couldn't he just be Rockstar Spud? Michael Cole called him Rockstar Spud tonight on Raw. They should have just left it. It's a much better name than Drake Maverick. Oh my God. Oh my God. What else we got here? Jason Jordan. Jason Jordan can't compete in the Tag Team Championship match. When they announced this match, I was disgusted with it, because how many times are we going to see Rollins and Jordan versus The Bar for the Tag Team Championship? This was going to be their last opportunity at the championship, but before the match would take place, Jason Jordan would not be medically cleared by the WWE doctors, forcing him out of the match. Seth Rollins didn't know what to do, and all of a sudden a gigantic goon stepped behind him, named Roman Reigns. And of course, it would be Roman Reigns. Is there nobody else that you had sitting back there in catering, eating some nachos or something, that could have used 5 minutes on TV, being in a tag team with Seth Rollins in a high-profile match that he wasn't going to win anyway? No, we had to go with the standard, with the boring, basic, predictable garbage. We'll just put him with his Shield brother. Why not give it to somebody else? Why waste Finn Balor in a tag team match that made no sense earlier in the night instead of putting him here? Seth Rollins with Finn Balor as his champion, the Shield and the Balor Club united for one moment to take down the Bar, and then you can literally have the same exact finish, and it would have been better. The crowd in Iowa would have probably loved it more. We wouldn't have had to see Roman twice tonight. It just literally reeks of laziness and uncreativity. Absolutely unforgivable. I just don't understand what they thought they accomplished by putting him in that match tonight. Anybody, as you could have put Rhino in that match, it probably would have got a bigger pop. Heath Slater, Kurt Hawkins, I'm really fishing now. But I think if you would have put Kurt Hawkins in that spot, maybe you could have even got the kid over. Give him he's still going to lose, right? So he's not even going to get his first win. He's going to lose in this match. Because you knew already, when Jason Jordan wasn't going to be part of this match, that he was going to be involved somehow in the finish. Which is exactly what happened. And Seth Rollins, who was on fire tonight, never mind just because there was fire on his pants. I guess because he was in his hometown, he definitely wrestled his ass off tonight. He wrestled beautifully. But the match was useless, and it made no sense, and it was overly predictable. As I said, Jason Jordan costing them the match, which is going to further this one-on-one thing that they're apparently going for WrestleMania. Do you give a shit about Seth Rollins versus Jason Jordan? Even despite all of the drama and nonsense that's going on, do you give two shits? Because I don't. I don't give one. I don't give zero shits. I'm not doing a 3. That's a big donut. 0. I don't care. That's a WrestleMania grudge match? Seth Rollins versus Jason Jordan. Nobody cares. Even if you fully turn Jason Jordan at this point and detach him from Kurt Angle and everything, nobody will give a damn about that match. And that match will be on the main card, and they'll put the Cruiserweight title finals probably on the pre-show. This match definitely does not need to be happening. Seth Rollins didn't look like he was nursing any type of back injury to me. Jason Jordan, as we know, is hurt, which is why he keeps being taken out of matches, but why he can't just be off TV altogether and force them to come up with some better stories, I'll never know. I will never know. What else happened here tonight? Because I got a bunch of notes here on the shit that I didn't like. Well, let's talk a little bit more about the Balor Club versus the Revival. I don't understand the logic in separating the tag team that's part of the Balor Club just for the sake of having Finn Balor in a match, when I just clearly illustrated to you there was a place for Finn Balor later on. Gallows and Anderson should have been the ones going up against the Revival. This is the tag team division, right? Why not have the legit tag team go up against the other legit tag team? But instead you want to put Balor and Anderson. Now, I don't know if Luke Gallows is nursing an injury or some sort, or if they just really did not know where else to put Finn Balor on this show. And it makes me sick. It makes me sick. This match was ridiculous. And then by having Finn Balor be part of this team, you squash the Revival. You have killed the momentum of the Revival. What have they been doing since they've come back? They've been talking real good on the mic. They've been saying some good shit. And then they keep getting their asses beat. This is one of the best tag teams NXT has ever seen. This is one of the best tag teams gracing the main roster right now. And you are going to have them lose to a team that's not even really a team. All because Finn Balor is here and they're down here. Why have Finn Balor involved in that thing at all? Plus, their whole entrance is awkward. If you're going to have them come out together as a trio, why not give them some fucking music? Why get Gallows and Anderson coming out to their Good Brothers song, and then they cut it and go to the Finn Balor song, and the three of them are walking out to Finn Balor's song? It just looks awkward. It doesn't feel like a unit. Doesn't matter that they're dressed alike. The whole entrance, everything is off-putting. And then for him to actually be the one in this tag team match, Finn Balor, took everything out of it for me. Not that I'm against Finn Balor. We know I'm a Finn Balor guy. I got my mask here. We got my demon chilling over here in the corner. You can't see him. He's off screen to the left there. But, come on. Come on. You wanted to put him in a tag team match? You had the perfect opportunity to do that. But no. Instead, we got to get fisted again. You know what that means. Good God. What else do we got? Let's check the notepad. We talked about Nia Jax. We talked about the cruiserweights. Turn the page. Now we talked about pretty much everything here that I got written down. We could talk a little bit more about Elias. Elias is amazing at getting heat. Oh, I know what we missed because I didn't write it down here. Because it's very uneventful, I did actually write it down somewhere. I don't know where the hell I put it. But let's talk for a minute about Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns. Okay, we'll finish this episode with this. Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns kicked off this show. We had the Elimination Chamber qualifying match in which absolutely nobody in the world with a working brain thought for a minute that Bray Wyatt was going to win this match. However, I did think that Matt Hardy was going to find a way to insert his woken wisdom into this match, causing Bray Wyatt to lose, which would definitely add fuel to this feud that they're trying to build. But let's take a look at something. We have all been waiting for the greater part of a year for the Great War to begin, right? We've wanted to see Bray Wyatt versus Matt Hardy ever since they were tweeting each other before Matt Hardy even left TNA. We all thought, wow, what a great feud that would be. What kind of great vignettes and movie-style scenes are we going to get from these two, right? We've all been waiting for it, and the anticipation's been growing and growing and growing, and finally Matt Hardy woke up, and he's broken again. But he's woken, and it's slightly different, and it's fine. But ever since they decided to pull the trigger on all these things and actually go in the direction of having these two guys collide, they've done nothing but lose. So the Great War is essentially a battle of losers. Does it matter? Matt Hardy has lost week after week. Bray Wyatt, we all know he's the eater of pins. He does nothing but lose, and he lost clean to Roman Reigns tonight. As if Roman Reigns needed to make himself look even better. Why Matt Hardy showed up after the fact, after Bray Wyatt was already beaten, just to rub a little salt in the wound, that's not a way to build feud. Bray Wyatt was already beaten. You should have had Bray Wyatt have the advantage through the majority of this match, as usual in a Roman Reigns match. But then you have Matt Hardy come out and interfere, have his music play, have him walk out, have him laugh, have him standing up in the rafters, up in the second row, up in the bleachers, somewhere far away, shine the spotlight on him, have his attention drawn away for just a minute. Roman Reigns gets his 5 moves in, and the match is over, effectively making it Matt Hardy's fault, making Bray Wyatt even more angry, bringing the storyline even further in a much more dramatic way. But instead we got a clean loss to somebody that does not need to be beating him. Everybody's go, oh yeah, well it was a good match, right? No, it's not, and it's not that it wasn't a good match, but we're talking about two guys that have wrestled about 2,000 times over the last 5 years and have had good chemistry. They've always had good chemistry. So if they are wrestling for the 2,000th time, of course it's going to be good. But good is not good enough. When you are together in that capacity, when you work with each other for that many times, you should be great. Shouldn't be getting these mediocre matchups that are essentially the same thing that we see from these two every single time. It's the same match. Is it a good match? Yes, but I'd like to see something a little bit different once in a while. Just once in a while. that's going to do it, you guys. That's the Raw review for tonight. That's pretty much everything in a nutshell. If I missed anything, please feel free to call me out on it. I'm pretty sure I covered everything that I wanted to talk about tonight. This show was nothing. This show was nothing. All it did was point us in directions in which we seemingly do not want to be headed. We're going to have to see how things play out. Tomorrow night will be SmackDown Live. And I'm already worried because last week's episode, if that's any indication, they don't know what to do for the next 6 to 8 weeks as they're building the road to Fastlane. And we're apparently going to have Sami Zayn versus AJ Styles or Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles, depending on Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn tomorrow night, which has got my interest very piqued. I would not say no to Sami Zayn versus AJ Styles on a WWE pay-per-view for the World Heavyweight Championship. I think that will end up being a show-stealing main event and would prove to the world just how fucking good Sami Zayn actually is. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know what else is on tap for tomorrow night. We got the Mixed Match Challenge. We'll try to get on top of that. You know, the ratings on that have been dipping tremendously. I've felt it myself on this channel. My first few episodes of those things were up in the thousands with the views, and now I'm barely skirting 200 because people just don't seemingly give a shit about the show. But I really enjoy the Mixed Match Challenge. I really, really do. And I'm looking forward to seeing the pairing of Mandy Rose and Goldust. As I said last week, I hope to God that this goes over so well for that pair that they disband Absolution immediately and put Mandy Rose with Goldust. She can stop painting herself up gold. She will be a 100% upgrade from Terry Runnels back in the day, but there is your new and improved valet for what could be Goldust's final and maybe greatest run of his career if they decide to do something like that. I don't know. That's just me. And as you guys know, my ideas are way better than theirs. I pointed that all out to you guys here tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Nick Nightmare. This is Blue the Snowball Microphone, the World Heavyweight Champion of Microphone. This has been the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show right here on Sledgehammer TV. Do not forget, you guys, if you have not been amongst the millions, I wish, and millions of people that have been watching this show and the hundreds and hundreds of you that have been choosing to subscribe as of late. Special shout out to you guys. Thank you guys so much for jumping aboard. This week has been absolutely tremendous. I want to thank especially all you guys that came over from Off the Script. We are one big happy family, and we are happy to have you guys aboard. Don't forget to share this video with your friends. Drop kick that thumbs up for me. Make sure that I feel it. Punch it so hard that I feel it in my gut, because maybe I need to feel a little kick in my gut for some reason. Keep me amped up, keep me going, and get me ready for tomorrow night's SmackDown Live. Don't forget to check out Clutch Chairs down in the description box below. Just go take a look at some of the WWE-inspired chairs that are ergonomically designed to fix your back. So if you got a couple of hundo on you, you want to buy yourself a nice friggin' chair that's going to make your spine feel fine, just check out Clutch Chairs. Make sure you do so by clicking that link down below. Like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Nick Nightmare is the handle. Check us out at Facebook, facebook.com/The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Become a fan of the Facebook page over there. All great ways to keep tabs on this show and everything that we do here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. That is going to do it, and we are out of here, and we will see you tomorrow night for SmackDown Live right here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Have a good night, you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.